All right, I'm on hole number one of the Safari Sunrise tournament and Tuesday's qualifying round in the Ricky division, and I am wiped out. It's the end of a long day. So we'll see what we can get done. With my low level account, my lowest level account, I got a minus 16. I hit 2 hole-in-ones. I got hole number 8. And I got something else. Oh, I picked up the mid par 4 on a luck shot with a machete with the low level stuff. No notes, no nothing. So you can't get it done with low level stuff. I've got 3 different accounts, 3 different sets of clubs, and just trying to figure it out with what we've got. That's the deal. Got to play to your clubs. Everybody's playing in different Ricky brackets, and everybody's got different level clubs. And so some of these shots, we've got options on this hole. The wind is blowing in this direction. So the last tournament, when we played this in the Summer Major, the wind was blowing in this direction. So we can take that out of the loop, and this is the wind we're dealing with. So if you're going to do the layup shot here, which is the easiest way, you're going to be hitting this layup shot in on a pure side wind. If you can get over to this side right here and get out into this fairway, you've got tailwind coming in. So you've got some options here. So what I was doing the last tournament, and if you go look for the playlist, I put a playlist out when this tournament first got announced. So it's this Safari Sunrise tournament playlist. And what I was doing was with an extra mile, and you can probably do, I mean, if you got an extra mile 8 or an extra mile 9, you're going to have a better shot at it, but you can do this with a lower level extra mile. And you have to change your land zone out here to accommodate the extra mile you have. If you got an APOC 4 or an APOC 3, you can use that club. It's going to give you more curl. I was 3 rings off of this transitional surface. Now that was with the wind blowing in this direction. And I believe I was leaving the wind in because it was pushing me forward. So now we've got the wind blowing side wind like this. So think about when you're on here and you're doing a max horsepower hook and it's coming in and it's doing this stuff. So when it starts off, you've got a side wind, the wind's pushing you off. But as it makes the curve and it comes down to the end, you've got tailwind and it's pushing you forward. So you'll have to adjust your shot based off the wind. But somewhere out in this zone right here, roughly 3 rings off, and I was using a Titan because what I found was with an extra mile 8, if I used a power 4 ball, I actually dug too far down in here, and some of my shots I actually clipped the rough. I got way down in that hole. So you'll have to kind of adjust it for your club. To essentially what I was doing a rough bump. So the first bounce is out in this area, and your second bounce is coming in. You're doing a rough bump. What you're trying to do is bleed out into here, and this is mid short iron with a tailwind coming in. So you've got a lot of options. So when you got a tailwind, here's the cup, here's the flagpole, and you're bringing it in. If you make a bad adjustment, let's say we had a 3 mile an hour wind, and you're using a 100% accurate club just for easy math, and you did a 3.3, then you're going to be a little back. If you do a 2.8, you're going to be a little forward, but you're still in line with the cup. That's the benefit of always kind of looking at the wind on some of these holes and using the wind to your advantage. So if we've got a tailwind coming in, that can help us. Where you end up out here, you're going to have, it's not going to be super consistent, but your goal is just to get out to that fairway. I found a couple times if you got a bigger extra mile, that sometimes I hit so far down into this hole, and get rid of that. I hit so far down in this hole that I actually cleared the rough on the second bounce and then hit the fairway, and then I ended up right over here in the rough. So you can get around. The extra mile didn't have enough curl. So if you got an APOC, and the thing about Apocalypse is that some people get lucky and they get them, and some people get unlucky and they don't get them. I was one of those that got unlucky and didn't get one. I haven't even had an APOC for a year, and I've been playing for 3. So some people just get lucky and get them, and so you're going to have, hopefully everybody's got one. But it might work better if it's got more curl because you can get around the bend a little bit more. So we have options here. What I'm trying to do is a max overpower hook shot on the right-hand side to bring it up so that I can end up right here on the green making a putt. And we're using the transition. Here's the first, here's the second, here's the third cut of the rough. The transition between the second and third cut of rough is kind of our starting point. So depending on what club you have, you're going to make adjustments off of that out in that area. So if you're one of the people that knows like, hey, you're at their extra mile and you move it 11 rings or 12 rings or whatever, however many rings you move it, you're going to end up somewhere in this area. My MO with max overpower hook shots is that, okay, you know that it's 11 rings. So the first time you move it, find a spot out here that's recognizable. And then the next time, instead of having to count the rings because you don't know where you started out here, you can go right back to that spot. If you ended up inside, you need to go further out. If you ended up outside, you need to go further in. And so it's like artillery. We're trying to dial it in so that we're on the right trajectory to get it up there. So what I've been told, and this is what I'm doing with an APOC. With an Apocalypse, I'm dead center. My ball guide is dead center. Like I want my bullseye to be right on that transition. And I'm putting in about 2 topspin, maximum left-hand side spin, maximum left-hand curl. And it's coming in and bouncing here and going right towards the cup if I catch it right. I've been told, and I tried today with my lower level account. It's the first time I've taken the shot with it, so I was like the artillerist that screwed up. I came in 3 rings because I don't have near as much curl. I have my blue ring on the transition, and where I should have been was 2 rings. What I've been told is if you're 2 rings off, max top spin, maximum left-hand side spin, and take the wind out. So the wind's blowing in this direction, so you're going to take the wind out. That will put you on that same flight path so that you'll end up on this fairway or on the green. And you'll have to adjust that shot based off of your club. So if you got an extra mile 6 or an extra mile 7, an extra mile 7's got a little more curl, but it doesn't really have any more distance. So every club's going to be a little different. So you'll have to, with your clubs, go out there. That's the thing about you watch people and you're like, I'm going to replicate that shot. You may or may not be able to replicate that shot, just depending on what clubs you have. But I'm trying the max overpower hook, and this is the only account I have an APOC 5 in. I played, this is the first account that I ever started, and I got an APOC relatively soon. It only took me about 5 months. And then when the club card trading came out, my cards, a lot of those epics stalled because I quit playing upper level tours. And then when the club card trading came out, then that kind of changed the whole deal. And don't blame me for the club card trading. Playdemic did it because people that had played in the last year and a half had maxed out on average 1 club. And those people were bitching that they couldn't do anything with it. And we all got our clubs upgraded. Not as much as some people. A lot of people got their clubs like upgraded. Some of the big time streamers, they got every single club in their bag got maxed out in one day. So I'm going to take a Titan, the king of balls, and I'm going to take an APOC. See if I have an APOC in any one of these bags. And really, if it boils down to I have to use anything else in the bag other than possibly my wedge or my putter, and I recommend the beginning putter. It's the best putter that you can get out there. Come on, you got to have some fun. And that's it. That's all I need. That's all I need. And we'll see, like sometimes when I'm super tired, my arms are like jelly, and so I come out and I get on a perfect streak. So maybe I can get on a perfect streak. I took my lowest level account out today and shot at 16, so had some luck. If you can't be good, be lucky. That's the motto. If I had a family crest, that would be my family crest motto. I'm going to set this up, even though it hits farther than my other club, I'm going to hit it. I'm going to set it up exactly the same way. Max side spin, couple top spin. Take the wind out. I think this club's a little more accurate now. I think it's like 1.5. I'm going to do, all right, I'll take the wind out. Do a max overpower hook. Wow. All right. I will tell you that, anytime you can get, anytime somebody wants to do something like that, that's fine. But I really would have rather taken that shot because But if somebody wants to give me an eagle, I mean, I don't know. I can complain too much about that. Um, I have a certain etiquette when I'm forfeiting shots. So my etiquette is, number one, I never interfere with my opponent's gameplay. So I never do anything like I don't. You see some people that go out there and they'll take their drive and they're like, okay, I got what I wanted and that's the right shot, and then they'll forfeit and you don't get to do a drive. I've had people, and like I've done that where I'm like in the perfect spot to try and get Albie, and then they forfeited. They took their drive and they went, yeah, I got what I was looking for. That's the drive I want to do in the tournament. And then they forfeited, and then I didn't get an Albie shot. And that's, they gave me an eagle, but the deal is I wasn't going for eagle. I put myself in the perfect spot to go for an Albie. I don't normally ever forfeit to the benefit of my opponent. So like if they're way behind, they got caught in the rough and stuff, I make them shoot it out. I make them do their score, but I also don't do anything that will hurt my opponent. If they've set themselves up for a great shot for Albie or to pick a shot up, I'm going to respect that and let them take that shot. And so I'm usually really respectful about forfeiting, because like I practice on Mondays and I forfeit all the time. If you guys watch my videos on a regular basis, I forfeit all the time, but I'm usually totally respectful about it. And I don't play a lot of shootouts in tournaments because I don't like burning my hole-in-ones in a shootout. And every now and then you'll get somebody that gives you the frowny face, which always cracks me up because, hey, I just gave you coins and you're going to give me a frowny face for giving you coins. But I mean, I'll take the eagle, but I really would have rather tried to get that eagle on my own because I really wanted to see where that shot was. So that's how you get an eagle. That's the easiest way to get an eagle on that hole. Right there. Right there. All right. That was hole number 1 of the Safari Sunrise. Thanks for watching.